Active listening is a skill that involves fully focusing on and understanding the speaker's message. Summarizing the conversation is an important part of active listening, as it helps to ensure that both the speaker and the listener are on the same page, and that the main points of the conversation have been understood. One scientific study, published in the Journal of Communication Education, found that summarizing the conversation can lead to improved communication outcomes. The study found that when listeners summarize the conversation, speakers feel heard and understood, which in turn leads to increased trust and improved relationship satisfaction. Additionally, the study found that summarizing the conversation can lead to increased feelings of empowerment for the speaker, as they feel that their message has been accurately conveyed. There are several phrases and examples that can be used to effectively summarize a conversation. For example, "So, what I'm hearing is that you're concerned about XYZ," or "It sounds like the main point you're making is ABC." These phrases demonstrate that the listener has been paying attention and has accurately understood the speaker's message. Additionally, using phrases such as "Let me make sure I understand," or "Can you clarify that for me?" can help to ensure that you have a clear understanding of the speaker's message. This not only helps to ensure that the conversation is on track, but it also shows that the listener is actively engaged in the conversation and is invested in understanding the speaker's perspective. When summarizing a conversation, it's important to be concise and to stick to the main points. This will help to keep the conversation on track and avoid any confusion or misunderstandings. Additionally, it's important to avoid adding in your own opinions or thoughts when summarizing, as this can lead to confusion and can detract from the main points of the conversation. Another important aspect of summarizing the conversation is to pay attention to the speaker's nonverbal cues. This includes things like body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice. These cues can provide important information about the speaker's emotions and can help to give insight into their perspective. For example, if a speaker is crossing their arms and has a tense expression, this may indicate that they are feeling defensive or closed off. By paying attention to these cues, the listener can adjust their approach and tailor their summarization to better match the speaker's perspective. It's also important to be aware of the context of the conversation when summarizing. This includes things like the setting, the topic, and the relationship between the speaker and the listener. For example, if the conversation is taking place in a professional setting, it may be appropriate to use more formal language when summarizing. On the other hand, if the conversation is taking place between friends, a more casual approach may be more appropriate. Additionally, it's important to be aware of any cultural differences that may be impacting the conversation, as these can also influence how the conversation should be summarized. In conclusion, summarizing the conversation is an important part of active listening that can help to improve communication and relationships. A scientific study published in the Journal of Communication Education found that summarizing the conversation can lead to improved communication outcomes such as increased trust, improved relationship satisfaction, and increased feelings of empowerment for the speaker. By using phrases such as "So, what I'm hearing is that you're concerned about XYZ, and it sounds like the main point you're making is ABC." Being concise and sticking to the main points, paying attention to the speaker's nonverbal cues, being aware of the context of the conversation, and being aware of cultural differences, you can effectively summarize a conversation.